I'm going to hand it over to Clemens now, who's going to take us through a bit of action planning for our session today.
Thank you. After all this time together, I still forget to unmute. So I wanted to thank everybody for participating. Now we want to give you a gift of time. Basically, we want to break for action planning. You know, we recognize that you're all very busy, and we recognize that many of you will go back to your normal clinic time very soon. And so we feel like it's important to start thinking now what you're going to do differently tomorrow. And so with that, we wanted to give you a few instructions, give you a little breakdown in terms of breakouts, and then go from there. So I still have no financial disclosures to make, and I'm still a consultant with BC Center for Excellence. So what we want you to do is to meet up with your team, and some of you may be a team of one, and then we want you to review the improvement goals and the progress you've made so far. You may want to take a look at your storyboards, and then reflect back on all the discussions we had, starting today with Kedar, with Adria, and all those wonderful storyboard presentations we had today, and think about how this will impact your journey going forward, and think in very concrete terms, the who, what, and when, and write it down. We are more likely to remember something and to do if you write it down. And then we'll give you till about 2:45, I'm sorry, and then go from there. That gives you about 15-20 minutes. And then we're going to give you a notice via the broadcasting message to bring you back. And then as part of the report back, I want each of the teams to report one key action step you're going to plan out in response going forward. I hope the instructions are clear. I've put them also in the chat room. So if you want to bring them into your discussion and start there. Angie, you have been wonderful to get us always in the right rooms wherever we need to be.
Yep, I've pre-assigned for the team, for each team. So I'm just going to launch the breakout rooms, but in case I misplace someone, we'll give you the option to join the specific breakout room for your team. They're each named by team. So I'm just going to launch them now.
Wonderful. And in case you're totally lost, just to be sure, always come back or send us a message, and we're happy to join you in case there is anything you need from us at this point. But we're planning to be back at 2:35. Thank you.
Yeah. See everyone in a little bit.
So what we want to do now is we have about 10 minutes for this. So hopefully we can hear from each team, ideally, whether you can reflect back on one action step that you want to share. Either we can go, whoever wants to go first. This will be a big report back, a very fast one. Who wants to go first?
On behalf of the West End team, I will go over ours. For the review of the improvement goals, we did have quite a few of them, but we do want to hijack Kamloop's amazing survey. So we'll be in touch. But as well, we did focus on, the things that we can do in the community to support the clients who will be starting the clozapine, and what supplies that we need, and what are the things that we need to do proper community monitoring. So we discussed that, as well as discuss the education that we need. We know when our next meeting is in March, and we talked about the things that we need to do to prepare for that meeting in March, and to follow up with one of the things that Erica had discussed in her from the Grandview Woodlands. We discussed that the pharmacies that are able to support the clients with the blood monitoring. And these are things that really facilitate and help with the clozapine start. So those are the things that we're going to be starting with. Thank you.
Thank you, Rochelle. And also what wonderful peer learning. Take advantage of all the wonderful offerings.
Mhm.
Cool. Which team wants to go next? Don't forget to unmute.
I can go for ACT. As for, we're just kind of finding a bit of momentum right now, but also looking to Kamloops, and I think understanding where the gaps are for our front line and trying to match up the QI and the move forward based on what their needs are. Some discussion we had was putting some of that QI work towards optimizing our engagement. ACT has, creative ways of engaging, seeing clients on a daily basis, but maybe having another look at it, we can optimize it better.
Thank you, ACT, and all others on the team. Who's going next?
I can for Kamloops.
Go ahead.
So we were talking about incorporating the identification of the clients back into our project. We kind of when focus more on the education, the clinicians and psychiatrists, because we were thinking that we weren't ready to start anybody, but I think that we could still look at how we can identify those clients and have a list ready to go for when we do have our protocols and processes in place. And then we also talked about incorporating the HONOS and what barriers we might encounter with psychiatrists doing that, because I don't think that it's in the practice right now. I think that the clinicians are the ones that do that. So we came up with the idea of, obviously we'd bring this forward to our team and to the manager at mental health, but sort of looking how we could incorporate like a case review of the client that the clinicians, like the case managers and the psychiatrists meet for those clients and get those HONOS in and then done for them as a team collaboration. Yeah, and then we need to focus on rolling out our education sessions and yeah, but learn lots of stuff today from everyone as well.
Wonderful. Thank you, Christy.
Yeah.
Who's going next?
Northeast can go next. So I think for us now, it makes the most sense to address some of the barriers that we've come up against. And from chatting with the rest of my team in the breakout session, I think we're going to focus on finding some easier ways for clients to do blood work. So looking into some of the needle prick, clozapine monitoring, seeing how we can set that up, as well as educating the team and having a more, providing more formal education for physicians and case managers, and really focusing on the HONOS as well. I think that's a big barrier for us with identifying clients that could benefit from treatment optimization, and something that the team needs a refresher on and some support with doing regularly.
Thank you, Monica. And keep in mind, remember when Adria spoke earlier about the barrier that she created, that going for blood work, that was really a barrier for her. And so one thing, just keep the term in mind, co-production, the idea that providers and patient can come together to figure out how to best do that, leaning on the lived experiences. Maybe the ideas that providers may not come up with, and also the experience that we talked from Dr. Mate's presentation. Thank you, Monica. Who is going next?
I can go next for EPI. So yeah, I learned about the CSAN Pronto. I think, like you said, maybe working with the client and see what would be the best for them. I think that's one of the next steps. And also learned, discuss with Harish about, for EPI, because of the population we see, the goal for us is always to aim for optimized treatment with no psychosis symptoms when we optimize treatment. So I think that's something we can put in our aim statement, and to also showcase that we look at how many people still have symptoms. I think it's pretty minimal at this point, and to see who else can be using clozapine as a treatment.
Thank you, Quinn. Appreciate it. Who's going next?
Yes, Strathcona. We're just talking about expanding the capabilities of our team as a step towards. Am I good now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're talking about optimizing also the capabilities of our staff in terms of delivering not just optimized pharmacological treatment, but some non-pharmacological modalities like CBT for psychosis. That's going to involve looking into some maybe practical opportunities for training for staff, engaging some of our multidisciplinary team as well in that. And anything else, guys? Or?
Well, and it's generally been helpful to have a more concrete understanding of a clozapine community start, and it just seems a lot more realistic for our team to be able to follow those protocols, whether or not they're meeting the mandate for top, but just in terms of getting more comfortable with those starts in community.
Thank you. It's great to see your team being together in one room. Who's going next?
I'll go next. I'm Nicole, representing the South team. We wanted to thank everybody for their insights today. And also we thought in terms of our action item, it would be to complete PDSA cycles on all the clients we've identified as needing treatment optimization. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole, and your team. By my count, we have 2 more to go.
I can go next. This is Erica from the Grandview Woodlands Mental Health team. We discussed the most important piece, sustainability. I'm actually going on mat leave. I've been pregnant throughout this whole, since the beginning of this project. So since in utero till soon after. So we are thinking about how are we going to make this entertaining and exciting for somebody that wants to step in to help, since we are only 3, and I've taken on a big role. And so we're talking about also how to sustain the PDSA cycles. So we're going to have to make an appointment with Darwin and also Jessica and the next person taking over, and have like training day, and also thinking about training physicians and case managers, providing them with the education that we've learned through the top program. So that's really important right now. That's one of our #1 goals.
Thank you, Erica, and to you and your team. Best of luck. Who's going next? We have 1 more team. Don't be. I lost track along the way. I had a beautiful list printed out and made nice check marks, but then I kind of lost track a little bit. My apologies. There's 1 more team I know for sure. We're from ACT, EPI, the Grandview, Kamloops, the Northeast, South, West End. The other ones, I was not sure the team assignment. So who is
Kitsilano?
that? Could be.
Is Dr. Wong still with us? Well, let me, Philip, unless you want to say something. I actually popped into the room and Dr. Wong was there. Her teammates had to go, so she and I chatted. And we talked a little bit about how to introduce the screen and manage tool, or that concept, to other physicians at the team. And there'll be a team meeting coming up in April. So Philip, I'm hoping that can be on the agenda.
That sounds perfect. Yeah, thanks for the update, Randall. I popped into one of the other teams, so I didn't get that plan there, but that sounds great. I'll check in with the team after the meeting.
I really appreciate your reporting back, and I have to say this is really, that was at ease how you presented back your action plan and the use of the language and the use of the small tests of change. That was a wonderful report back. I appreciate that, and appreciate all your efforts. And as always, you know, there's help for you. So if, I know it sounds good today, and tomorrow when you go back, oh God, what did we do? And we need more help. We're here to help you. We want to really make a difference in our communities.